Good one. Too much.
Way
I already can tell. I already know what you did wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that technicolor in between. It's your boy Trey Prop.
It's your boy Weekend Herb.
And it's your boy Mr. Petty.
And as always, I'm still here.
And
All right, bet.
We on air?
All right.
yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us here on Blerds and Whiskey Live. We got a great show lined up for you as always. And you guys had a great show on Thirsty Thursdays where you made a very tasty beverage, I will say. Of course, it did not follow the directions, but if you will, tell us what you did.
So despite the social economic things that we're going through in this world, we decided to make a Moscow Mule. You should go ahead and check it out on Thirsty Thursdays, YouTube, Blerds and Whiskey, Thirsty Thursday. Also go to, Blerds and Whiskey on YouTube, and it's on the playlist called Thirsty Thursdays. But yeah, we pretty much just did the classic Moscow Mule. I don't own any copper cups, but I do own this tin vodka cup, which I think kind of does the same thing. One of the things I brought up about the Moscow Mule is how the copper is a conduit for the temperature, so keeps things cool.
And yes, I did remake the berry one that I made on Thirsty Thursdays, and no, I'm not sharing.
He's a greedy bastard.
So I'm going to crowbar this a little bit. In honor of Cam's birthday, that is tomorrow, please go over to the Blerds and Whiskey page and view Thirsty Thursday that came out on a Friday. Yay. Little shade.
Slight shade.
It was still Thursday night.
It was like midnight.
Like 11.
Leo says happy birthday.
But happy birthday, Cam.
Appreciate that.
Happy birthday, homie.
Here's to another 41.
And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to his YouTube channel too. Go ahead and plug yourself for a moment since it's your birthday.
All right, no problem. I have no problem talking about myself. You can go and search on hashtag Camism and look that up and like, share, and subscribe as I do lots of characters a week and soon to be character analysis and stuff like that as I delve more into more content for that page. So stay tuned.
All right. What'd you make, Big Herb?
So I followed everything to the T that Rick made with the berries and the effervescence of it all. It actually tasted amazing.
That's a big word for Elmo.
What's the name? Also,
you learned the SAT word
yes,
too?
it was an SAT word, yes. Also, why the fuck somebody made a call for me? Yeah. Sorry about that. But no, I made it in my Black Panther cup. So I guess it's a Wakandan Moscow Mule. So yeah.
Moscow's not in Wakanda though.
It's in a fucking cup, Trey.
A Wakanda Mule. You should have just said that. It's a Wakanda Mule. You could have just left the Moscow part.
Oh man. I tried. Only thing I don't have is mint. I did tangerines though. I got tangerines, absolute vodka, ginger beer, and yeah, I actually muddled them up and everything. I got ice and I got my absolute copper mule cup. So yeah, that's what I'm drinking today. Oh
wow.
My God.
I guess it's people want to make announcements over at Trey's house. Let me go to my church announcements real quick. So
Whoa. How do you not even let us introduce ourselves and what we're drinking?
Sorry. I was trying to sorry. My bad.
Hey, but that was a good segue though. I'm gonna go ahead and give you props though. That was a really, really good segue. Like if it wasn't for the timing.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. That was on point. Like you're just a casual.
And it wasn't if you're just disregarding other people who are still here and haven't. You know what? Fuck me. Go ahead. It's all good. Church. No.
Please go.
No, I don't want to anymore.
It's con season, guys. So to start off con season, we're gonna talk about HBCU Con. That's April 29th through the May 1st. Fit tickets are $15, and you can go to, it's going to be held at Bowie State University. For more information, go to hbcucon.com. Awesome Con will be taking place at the Washington Convention Center, June 3rd through the 5th. Tickets for the weekend is $85. For more information, go to awesome-con.com. BlerdCon, the mecca of it all, is going to be taking place at the Hyatt Regency in Crystal City. Tickets are going on sale right now for $65 for the weekend. That's going to be taking place July 8th through the 10th. And we've been talking about this for the last few weeks, guys. We're going up to Philly. HNIC Con is going to be taking place June 17th through the 19th. We're going to make a whole weekend of it all, a whole spectacle. So come join us up in Philly for those tickets. Like we said, we want to give a shout out to, we already did give a shout out to, Mr. Petty's birthday is tomorrow, correct? Correct. But he was also on HNIC this past week, where they was discussing, where I think it was actually a great topic, because Cam hates shitty movies. He loves shitty movies. And what better to talk about than Blerd shitty movies on HNIC? Cam, you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret that I'm a Ninja Turtles diehard fan, and to this day, the most travesty of their legacy is Ninja Turtles 3. And I put that as one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. The best way I could describe it is, if Jim Henson didn't die prior to that movie definitely killed him.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess it's not too soon for that, but okay. It is the worst objectively of the three, but I don't know if it's the worst I've ever seen. Like, there's got to be worse comic book movies out there.
How can it be the worst?
It specifically said nerd movies, so like anything of the sci-fi, fantasy variety. So it wasn't just comic books. So that it is up there contenders of such things such as the Mario Brothers, Turtles 3, Avatar, or Aang, The Last Airbender, or Avatar, depending on, or Aang or Aang, or however they mispronounce his name. Like, it's written in the script, they just couldn't even keep up the same word. Like, wow.
Listen,
the whitewashing of the Water Tribe.
It wasn't the worst. It had time travel and colonizers colonizing.
And the dude tried to shoot a bird.
Exactly. Or
I gotta watch that.
The costumes were worse than the Ninja Turtles TV show that was on Fox that was backed up by Power Rangers.
Ooh, I remember that. His birthday is Monday.
One thing I didn't talk about on there was definitely, I don't know if y'all ever seen that movie, Fantasy Island. It was fucking horrible.
I'm not familiar with that. I don't say Fantasy Island. I'm familiar with this TV show.
Yeah, they actually made a movie, and I want my hour and 20 minutes back. I really did. It was that bad. It was.
Wait, so you saw a movie based on a TV show?
You don't hear me complaining.
It was supposed to be.
You kind of are.
It was supposed to be like a horror film type thing, and I was like, this isn't gonna be good. Yeah, it was
reimagining.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's God damn, it was fucking horrible. But yeah, Trey, you want to talk about those? Because I'm trying to bring up to
it. Blue Saber on Twitch. Good evening from the UK. I guess it's nighttime over there this time. Yeah. What's up, homie? Thank you. Welcome to the show. At one point, I owned.
Actually, welcome back.
At one point, I owned 30% of the IMDb bottom 100 films. That's pretty good accomplishment. I have to look and see what that list is. So I guess I've seen his way of saying he hates or he loves horrible films like you too.
Blue Saber, we just became best friends. I'm sorry. He's from UK. Blue Saber, we just became best mates.
All right. So since we're still on the topic of movies, I actually heard Sonic 2 is actually pretty damn good. My son, I can't really take his word for it. He's 8. He's gonna say everything is great. Yeah. So I'm gonna go and take him to see it today because I actually kind of want to see it. Yeah. So I'll give you guys let you guys know on Herb's blurbs to see if it actually was good or not.
Nah. give that shine to your son and have him do a review on Sonic on his YouTube page.
Let him do the Miles Jacked Up and let him go ahead and take over that one, because he was like, yeah, oh my God, Daddy, this was so amazing. This part right here. I was like, don't spoil it, man. Don't pull him your dad. I need to see this for myself.
You know what also would have been amazing?
What?
If she got her intro.
I would have been able to tell people what mules I was drinking, but go ahead. I'm gonna be shady the rest of the show. I just want you to know.
It would be.
I'm gonna be shady the rest.
No, there are levels to her shade. You just opened up the shade gates for her to be shady for the rest of the show.
I know.
Yeah, right now we're intro level shade. We're in the part of it right now. So
it's coming. It's coming. And we drinking mules today? Oh, it's a done deal.
I'm pretty sure during the middle of the show we're gonna be at DEF CON 5. So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But we at Blerds and Whiskey do want to send our condolences. DMV athlete, NFL star, Dwayne Haskins, unfortunately passed away yesterday.
Say it again. You said like 4 times in the past 12 seconds.
Okay. Rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins. Rest in peace.
Keep going. Yeah.
So for those of us who are nerds of a different breed, why don't you tell us exactly who this individual is and what they did in the DMV?
Okay. So Dwayne Haskins was a standout at Ohio State University. He is from the DMV area. He got drafted by the Washington Commanders last 2 years ago, and he got released and went on to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He had a chance to actually start this year, and so he unfortunately
he was a star quarterback. He was a star quarterback at the Bullitt School in Bethesda, Maryland, and then he went on to become one of the. He still has one of the greatest quarterback seasons in the history of the Ohio State University.
Yes.
He was in Florida training with other athletes and was hit by a dump truck and some type of traffic accident. So
I'm not laughing at that.
No, I got you. Like Herb said, our condolences go out to his family and his teammates and all those who loved him. This one's for you, Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
Checking over the chat on Twitter, on Twitch. I'm sorry. ZS Nuts says, till you do right by Rita, everything you say will fumble.
Including
And we have not forgotten about you guys on YouTube. We're going to try to go back and forth and watch both chats as we go. But let's see. Of course, Haunter, good morning.
No. Genocide Circuit says RIP to Rita's drink description. Absolutely. Rest in peace forever.
All right. Keep going.
And to close out the church announcements, we want to send a congratulations to Ketanji Brown Jackson. She's on becoming the first Black female Supreme Court justice. So with that being said, guys, we need to roll the footage because this one is for you.
Blerds and Whiskey presents Black Moments of Excellence.
Black Moments of Excellence.
Mrs. Ketanji Brown Jackson.
We got more color in the courtroom.
This one's for you, Ketanji Brown Jackson, becoming the first Black woman Supreme Court Justice.
We witness history.
From 2013 to 2021, you served as a judge of the U.S. District for the District of Columbia.
Hey, rapping that chocolate city.
Despite being overly qualified, your confirmation brought credence to the notion hard work pays off.
Her success has never been an accident.
Bringing in that pure Black girl magic to the courtroom.
She got that shade butter energy.
Your constant battle of dealing with racism, flourishing in the face of adversity, speaks loud.
Those mayo mammals stay over there hating.
And clear. You're my shero, Supreme Court Justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
all her right there. That's all her and dialogue by Rita. That's cool.
I say, cool.
That's shea butter energy.
Yes, that is really an amazing thing that a lot of little girls are going to get a chance.
Maybe you should acquire some instead of being so fucking rude all the time. Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead, Trey.
Actually, it doesn't bother me. I've been shaded by Rita since we met. So yeah, it's all good.
Deservedly so.
Since we've been, you know what? I'm gonna keep that. Would have been way below the goat. Trey proper. Could you introduce me, please? I appreciate that.
If you will, Miss Rita, tell us. You got your own segment coming up. Hit us with that hot topic.
Yep. All right, thank you. So, Ketanji Brown Jackson, we love you. And unfortunately, you have been thrown in a little bit of mess. Thanks to Mr. Ralph Richard, I think Banks is his name. He wrote an article, a Black man, by the way, wrote an article in the New York Post. And I'm going to be a little bit ghetto because I'm about to read it. Just portions of it, at least the title. And the title says, why more Black women should consider marrying white man. Now, as most people who watch the show are people of color or who have like strong bonds with people of color and they understand like the struggle that, you know, we go through on a day-to-day in some degree, right? So why are you basically telling Black men that you aren't good enough to date an educated Black woman? I'm gonna let y'all chime in and y'all do y'all comments on this, but the way I read it was instead of living alone and dying by yourself because, you know, Black men ain't shit, that's basically what they're saying, get you a white man. And you could become vice president too, and you can become a Supreme Court justice too, as if I need a white man to validate my success that I did by myself. But go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all speak on that if you want to go.
I take on this one. I don't think you'll live. You'll be all right. I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing to date outside the race. I think that you find love where you're going to find love. No. I'm not. I'm just giving my perspective on it. I'm not saying anything about you. I don't think it's wrong to find love in different races. You find love where you find it. What I don't think a lot of people realize that when you get to different levels in life, as far as finances or opportunities, you have access to different people. Like if you're still in the same environment, if all you do is work at the Safeway down the street and hang out at the club down the street and, you know, go to the gas station, that's all the people they're going to meet is that's in that environment. When you start branching out and you go to different places, you're going to meet other people and it's different opportunities to meet different people. So I don't think it's a matter of, oh, I can't find a good dude or dudes ain't shit or da-da-da-da-da. It's whoever the hell's around you. That's who you're going to fall in love with. That's my take on
it. Okay.
And just so I'm clear, Trey, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I have dated outside of my race. I am not opposed to, you know, if I enter the dating scene again, dating outside of my race. What I am saying is that the way that this article was written, it was written as if you want to be successful as a Black woman, not a Black man's perspective, I'm speaking from a Black woman. They're basically saying, get you a white man. And my whole thing is that if I fall in love with a white man, I fall in love with a white man. But that does not mean that my success is because of him. So I just want to clear that part.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that the article reeks of both internal racism and misogyny at the same time, because he's essentially discrediting everything that she accomplished by saying that she became a Supreme Court judge and everything that she has as far as her legal and college acumen is basically due to the fact that she married a white man. Not that she did this on her own, not that she accomplished these things, not that she is doing it for the people or for the culture. No, it's because she married a white man and that's how she was able to gain access. Like it's discrediting everything that she worked hard for, that we're praising her for. And that's my issue with the article, along with the fact that, like I said, this internalized racism. He's the type of dude that probably shuns and discredits anything that Black people have done or will do. He probably thinks that he's above other Black people. Like, you know, the problem with that is, like, I have an issue because someone who does interracial dating, one of the issues that I come across with is I see people who see me with my girl. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, you got your good one. I was like, I mean, I got a good woman. That has nothing to do with, like, you know, her being white. So they naturally, like, want to, like, preference is one thing. Liking someone, you know, despite whoever, is one thing. But to like someone, to put someone, like, at a pedestal and knock down everyone else is where I have the issue with when it comes to interracial dating. And I feel like that's what he's doing with this article. Like, yeah, you date this guy and the hell with everyone else that's like this. I'm like, no, you can like someone without discrediting any other people. And I feel like that's the issue that I come across with whenever I deal with people who also do interracial dating. So that's my take.
Herb?
So my take on it is, number one,
no one cares. Go ahead.
All right, what's your take on it?
Herb, get your thought out.
It doesn't matter who you date at the end of the day.
It doesn't matter. Rick, you want to go? Since you haven't had a chance to go yet.
I'm go
ahead, Rick.
All right.
Please finish.
All right. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter who you date, who you marry, because you're basically tearing down a race at the end of the day, and you're diminishing what the accomplishments of a person is doing, like Cam said. My take is I'm not even gonna pay this fool any attention. Fuck what he thinks, because at the end of the day, he's just he's tearing people down and he's belittling other people's accomplishments. At the end of the day, he's a joke to me. And I don't even know much about this dude, but just based on that, putting it out there, it's he's a joke. So I mean, that's my thoughts on it.
Just like you. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ.
The whole show. The whole show. It's going to be like this the whole show.
So this article was brought to my attention Monday morning, I believe. And I have read the article literally twice a day, every day since. At first, when the article was first brought to my attention, was read to me, it put me in a state of rage. Not even gonna lie. I found this because I'm trying to ascend to a different plateau. This brother's words put me in a state to where I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? That the fact that it was written by a Black man. Then I started to dig a little bit deeper into this man to understand his thought process. And he wrote a book called "Is Marriage for White People?" And just the excerpts from that book are insane. Like, it reeks of self-hate. It reeks of a Black man whose only exposure to Black people and Black culture comes from Fox News or OAN or from the Republican National Convention. It's insanely troubling that this man has never been around true Black love, been around people, seeing Black men, Black kings who actually care for their queens and their children, and who want to uplift their family and push not just themselves, but also their mate and the rest of their families to be something bigger than themselves and to be great. And at first, when I was angry the first couple of days, then I felt bad for him, and I feel sorry for him for the fact that he's never seen this and knows that it does exist and it's a real thing in this world. I hope that he can actually be exposed to what it is to be a part of such a special, because Black love in its purest form is a special, special thing. And when you see when you see a Black man and a Black woman who actually love each other and support each other and want nothing more than to see the other one be great, it is one of the most magical things on earth. It is real magic. It's actually very, very special. And I hope that he's able to get out of his shell and get away from what he thinks is out there to actually see it. And in the end, this article actually motivates me to want to be a better man for the woman that I plan on marrying and being with. It motivates me to want to be great and to have nothing but a bright future as much as I can control, and to even push harder than I already do push. So I'm just going to say right now, I want to thank Brother Banks for writing this bullshit ass article, because you've given this black man way more motivation than I even thought I needed, and way more motivation than I ever thought I could have to be great and to be something special. So again, hey, thank you, Brother Banks, you dumb motherfucker.
Can I get an amen on a Sunday morning from Pastor Williams? I'm just saying, let the church say amen. All right, go ahead, somebody.
Amen.
I mean, I am a preacher's kid, so you know it's in there. So
here we go.
You even called him brother.
I was waiting for it.
You even called him Brother Banks. I know that's right.
Did you show your dad the link?
Thank you,
Tamika.
We got to vote for in the comment section on YouTube for this to be clip of the week. So yes, I say go for it.
Good shit. All right. Anybody else have anything else to say on the topic?
Fuck that nigga. All right.
No, how's he gonna follow that?
I had to get that out my chest because that like shit like that makes dating in general hard. Like I said, internalized racism, man. Like he's been around too many of the and their words have influenced him. So he in his mind thinks that he's above. Like I said, that's that weird state. Like, yo, dude, I'm telling you right now, you get pulled over by the cops, they don't care who your friends are, you're still a black guy to them. Fuck it. It's dumb.
Facts. Big facts. I mean, do we even know what this guy looks like?
Yes. Yes.
I'm pretty sure he's bald.
He looks like what you would imagine him to look like.
I'm just thinking, like, is it
Archie? No, he's not an Archie.
He's not an Archie? He doesn't walk around in purple suits, green ties?
So listen, I've again, like I said, I've read this article several times. I looked up his background information. He looks like a bald-headed Cliff Huxtable. He looks like he does terrible things in the basement of his house. Maybe if he went on blerdsandwhiskey.com and went to our partners page and clicked on beard struggle, he could find some products that can make him look a little bit more, I don't know, masculine, a little bit more, black manish, a little bit more, nurturing. He could get some beard balms. He could get some beard oil, all of that stuff, some hot combs, comb that thing out. So he won't look like one of those flag waving January 6 people, and look, more like he's out there fighting for equality and all of that. You know what I mean? He can use the promo code Blerds1 to get 15% off his purchases from the beard struggle to make himself look more like a more self-promoting black man as opposed to somebody who works for One American News.
Today we are trying Soda's Fury.
Pastor Williams is on the road. Can we get the collection plate? Just pass it around.
I'm already drinking communion wine right now, so there we go.
The alley oops is real out here. They real.
Oh
okay.
My God.
Comic books on YouTube. He does look like Herman Cain. He looks like a bald ass Herman Cain.
The one that survived.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No, Herman.
Oh shit! I get no fucks about him.
I'm about to say, speak ill of the dead. That's all.
I will. I will speak ill of the dead. The dead was right. Look, first of all, that's a good choice of words because he did die of COVID.
Right. Exactly. After he denied the COVID was the thing. Fuck Herman Cain and Clarence Thomas. And Clarence Thomas' wife looking like a baloney booger.
What the fuck is a baloney booger? What?
Yep.
Exactly.
Put it on the wall.
Continue.
I'm good. Google a picture, just like what happened when we first Googled Brock Lesnar's daughter. Google Clarence Thomas's wife right now. I guarantee you, the first phrase that comes to mind is baloney booger.
Put that shit on a t-shirt. That's on the t-shirt.
I'm just thinking she looked like that thing from New Snacks commercials. Yeah, I just got in here. It's a nice place to be.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking about tasty beverage because of y'all.
Let's go.
Okay.
So shit, she does. She does.
Baloney booger.
It's just off camera guy. Put it on the screen. Please put it on the screen.
I'm not doing this with y'all.
I mean,
look, like so real quick. I'm sorry. Like the like.
Why
so,
did we even
course,
come up with this phrase?
Because because when I was doing research.
Technically, we are in this together.
I was doing research into her.
Thing.
Go ahead, Rick.
I was doing research into her and her trying to overthrow the government about the whole January 6th thing, and her trying to use her influence over her husband to, you know what I mean, get a bunch of those insurrectionists off. And then I was like, man, I've never known what Clarence Thomas's wife looks like. Like, I know what he looks like, and this nigga looks like a sweaty piece of charcoal. So I was just like, all right, well, let me see what his wife looks like. So then
he really does like Uncle Ruckus.
I Googled Clarence Thomas, like you know how you see those ribs that's been sitting on the grill all day, and then somebody put fucking barbecue sauce on them and they all glistening. That's what Clarence Thomas looks like when he sweat. So then I Googled his wife, and his wife pops up, and I said, yo, she looks like a booger made out of bologna. Like, she's all chunky, but then at the same time, she's flesh colored and shit. Like, it's so weird. So that's where I came up with the term bologna booger.
Oh my God.
Not to mention this green dress that she's wearing too.
Right. And look at Trey's face. Trey's face says, all I see is bologna booger. Bologna booger. Look at it. Look at it.
You know the worst part is when I looked it up, the second phrase is Clarence Thomas' wife.
If y'all looking at
already been hit.
if y'all looking at the show right now, if y'all looking at it on the second screen, look at the screen right now. You can't tell the show bologna booger.
Get it off the screen, man. Take it off the screen.
I do.
All right.
Okay. Wait. Before we judge too harshly, are there any photographs of them when they were younger together? Because maybe she was cute and, she got less cute as time went. So in fairness, no, hear me out. Have you ever seen an older lady and you're like, oh, she's like really, pretty. She's this, that, and the third. And you wonder what she looked like when she was younger, right? Because you like, I'm pretty sure she was a foxy mama or whatever the fuck phrase.
No, she wasn't.
Like from back in the day, right?
No, she wasn't.
Right?
No, she wasn't.
So here's what I was going to say. No matter how you look internally, if you are ugly in here, it shows. It shows. So it don't matter what you look like 20, 40, 60 years ago. This right here inside, that is ugly. And the ugly comes out. So yeah.
Cam.
I'm just saying.
I agree with you. Wait. Listen to me. I agree with you. And this is no shade, so please don't take it like I'm trying to be disrespectful. Your girlfriend is beautiful, right? She's gorgeous. When she ages, she's still going to be gorgeous, right? This lady look wow. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's no shade. I'm saying your girlfriend is beautiful. She is.
And that actually proves my point. No. That proves my point, though. That proves my point, because my girlfriend is beautiful inside and she's beautiful on the outside, and it shows.
Right, but this lady is not.
She's been ugly like because she's been ugly in here.
Cam blinked twice.
In here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But this lady obviously at no point in time was beautiful here. No, because I didn't want you to think that I was trying to be disrespectful, so that's why I wanted to like reiterate that. You know what I'm saying? Because I
didn't take any disrespect. I'm not hurt.
Listen,
Jesus. What the fuck did I do?
No one cares.
Oh,
I just say you just
This show is off the wheels today. Okay, so
what is our next segment?
I'm trying to find a segue into this. I've been trying to drop promos, like just anything to move the fuck on. But anyway, since we're just gonna put a Band-Aid off of it, we had episode 2 of Moon Knight. Now, of course, this is an episodic series we are enjoying from Marvel, and it's been amazing so far. Thanks, guys. Yes. So episode 2 dropped. We're going to talk about episode 1. What did you guys think of it?
Who wants to go first?
Can I go first? Or? I'll go first.
I like Mark better than Steven with a V.
With a V. Steven with a V. I like the fact that it was called a drop-in. Like, there was no pretext before. There's no explanation or backstory. It's just kind of like you're just dropped right into what's going on. And I'm all about
I got it. Just keep going.
Yeah. So I like the fact that, like, under pretense of how the show is, it's like it's a good drop in, but it's not like left unexplained. They do it in a way where it's like they leave like Easter eggs and clues for you to figure things out as you go along the way. Like I said, it was the very first episode, so a lot of stuff was not going to be left explained to make you watch episode 2 through 5 or 6. So yeah, I was okay. I like the drop in effect of it, where it's just like, oh, what the hell's going on, and to make you watch the show. That's why I liked it.
Okay.
I will eventually sell these comics books, but I need them to get a lot of more value first.
I need you to seal that top with some scotch so the air doesn't get in there.
No.
After Morbius, I don't know how much value.
I'm going to get them put in the little cases.
Okay. All right. Big Herb, what you got, man?
Nobody cares what he got. Nobody cares what he got. Why are we even talking about him? Pick anybody else.
Keep going, Herb.
I like the attention to detail that they have for the show.
I like the lack of attention to detail that you
talking because I'm like, but no, I love the fact that even with the whole entire point, what's the guy's name? The bad guy, I forget his name, but
Arthur Harrow.
Huh?
Arthur Harrow.
In the very beginning of the show, in the first episode, where he put the glass in there and his shoes and everything, and even towards where he's walking around, it's still now. You can still hear the glass break. The attention to the fact that, like we talked about the DID last week, he's still trying to just gather information as far as like what the hell is going on. Yes, I turned into Mr. Knight. I love the dapper suit. I also love the fact that, goddamn, he's just taking over. He sees that he's trying to save his wife.
Episode 1. We're not talking about episode 2. We only talking about episode 1 right now.
Episode 1.
I told y'all we shouldn't have been listening to shit, but then nobody want to hear me.
I'm done.
You should have been done. You should have never got started. But go ahead.
It is what it is.
Next trade proper. Is it Cam?
I'm saving you for last. Well, no, Cam went, didn't
he? Yeah, Cam went first.
Already went.
Yeah, I'm going next. I'm saving Rita for last because she is the avid Moon Knight person right now. So,
am I?
Well, you've actually gone out and gotten into comics. I personally have never read a Moon Knight comic.
This is for my own personal gain. I just want y'all to know I don't give a fuck.
So Trey, it's funny you mention that.
To sell these bitches later on.
So Trey, maybe if you actually went back and go to my YouTube page, #Camism, and look up previous character of the week where I had Moon Knight, you can learn a thing or two about Moon Knight.
Absolutely. I've watched it here in the show, but yeah, I'll go back and watch it again. Definitely go check him out on his YouTube. But yeah, I've so far been enjoying it, and it is a hell of a teaser episode. I need more. I need to, because I'm not familiar with this character. I'm truly not. I'm not familiar with the Marvel Knights as much as I should be. Most other street level characters, and Moon Knight just never. Like I've said in the past, he's basically just an all white Batman to me. So I know there's more to him now. I'm aware of that, but in the past, that's what he has been. So I'm really hoping that things pick up over the next few weeks as far as this character is concerned. I'm really hoping that we get a lot more than what we got, but it's definitely worth a watch. Rita?
Trey, I want to commend you for having a change of heart, because when I originally said I was getting these Moon Knight comic books, you were just like, well, ha, 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 with all the disrespect and all the world. No. Let me finish. It's my turn.
Okay.
We were talking about, me getting the comic books because I wanted to be able to resell them at some point. You were like, no one cares about Moon Knight. Now, all of a sudden, you want to know more, but you were the same person that said that Marvel's been trying to push this person for years and nobody cares. You can talk now.
Okay. Have you Googled the retail price of that comic?
It doesn't matter what the retail price is today. I'm talking about later on. And actually I have. And some of them are more than what I spent my money on already.
Mm-hmm.
So
how much are they valued at?
But that has nothing to do with the fact that the value will grow, and which is what I was trying to tell you when I purchased them. That was the reason behind my purchasing them.
The reason why I said what
Did
I
not
said?
say that? I could have swore I said that.
You said that. I haven't denied anything that you said. But what I have said is that the value of those is not likely to increase. Like, this show is not going to make its popularity blow up. I'm changing my perspective about this show, and that's why I'm asking how much and what's the value at. Because maybe you're telling me something that I don't know.
paid the store value, which was like the $3.95 or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
All 4 of them have tripled and quadrupled in value. So who is to say that they won't grow even more by the end of the show is what I'm saying. Because you had all the shade sprinkling and you was like, nobody cares about Moon Knight. Well, obviously people do, and obviously you're starting to. Is my point.
I'll admit that I'm starting to. I do not retract any statements I've made about the comics, though. I don't think it's going to be, but that's my opinion. And if they do, I'll be wrong. What other bet you want to make about it? Like, you already got one bet on the table.
It's not a bet. It was just the way that I felt like the way that you spoke was super shady. All I was saying was I felt like, yeah, nobody cares right now, but who's to say people won't care at the end of the show? And you were kind of convinced that they wouldn't care, but you're the same person who's now saying, I need more. I want to see more. You're interested now, where at first you had no interest at all.
Of the show, yes. Of Moon Knight, the comic, no.
But aren't they one and the same?
We got a comment. We have a comment in the YouTube section. Sorry to interrupt. Moon Knight is #1 at My Comics and sells for $325.
Really?
Yeah. And then the Hunter said he gained the ability to control Thor's hammer because Uru is a moon metal.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But my thoughts, since it is my turn now, my thoughts on episode 1 was I enjoyed it. I've grown to love the whole slow burn aspect of things, and not seeing him transform into Moon Knight until the end. Like, Stephen Grant, they've made some changes to it. Stephen Grant in the comic books is a billionaire playboy type of character. And on the show, he's a meager, Mr. Everyday guy. And, I find myself getting a little bit frustrated with watching this little, because, I know the character from the comic books, and seeing this little meager, mousy type man type character was a little bit frustrating. But then at the end, seeing this creature from a whole nother world, this jackal, being terrified and trying to run out of the bathroom, and him dragging it back in, proceeding to beat the shit out of it as Moon Knight, was just phenomenal. There's also something that's going online that I have to bring up on the show. And everybody's just like, oh, we're rooting for Steven and we love Steven and all of this. I need you people to shut the fuck up. All right. I'm tired of everybody wanting to have, oh, he's so relatable, and that's the way I would deal with this situation. Because you're a bitch. Stop it. I don't care. Stop being little punk asses. I want more of Mark Spector. Mark Spector is the main personality. Once the job is done, guess what? I hope we don't see any more of little meager ass Stephen Grant, because I want more Mark Spector. We need more badasses. We need you people to get up, exercise, and maybe then you can handle yourself in a fight and you won't die in an alley like Batman's parents. Fuck, man. I'm tired of this shit.
Do you need FNX Fit to not die?
Maybe they should go to the Blerds and Whiskey page and click on our partners tab and go to FNX Fit and use the promo code FNX Blerds13 to get 15% off your purchases, and do some fucking curls and some jumping jacks and get on a treadmill and get cardio so you don't fucking just breathe all heavy walking up 4 steps. Motherfuckers need to get out there and do some sit-ups and some push-ups and maybe toughen yourselves up. Maybe get some spirit behind you, God damn it, like Mark Spector, and beat the shit out of a jackal and then come out of a bathroom and look at the camera like, yeah, I just fucked everything up in here. That's what you need to do.
Real quick. So I will concede this about Moon Knight #1, the first comic of Moon Knight. Rita, do you have Moon Knight #1?
I've ordered it. It's on the way.
It's on the way. The comic book,
technically, yes, I own it.
Okay.
It hasn't been delivered yet.
He said breathe.
So you paid how much for it?
I am breathing, goddammit.
$17.
You paid $17 for Moon Knight number one?
$17.
Winning.
Okay, all right. So that's funny because the retail value was $250. But okay,
Hey,
all right. We'll see.
I paid $17.
Hey,
I
can we
ordered
go
it
to
2 weeks ago. I ordered it 2 weeks ago before the show premiered, and the person who is delivering it to me was in the hospital at the time. So it's been delayed by 3 weeks because they just got out of the hospital and I just got my tracking number. So yes, I spent $17 before it was valued at $250. Winning.
Shut the hell up, Zen. I'm not ranting Calvin. He said Zen says I'm ranting Calvin Candy style. Can we go to character of the week so I can get some more ice?
Yes. Because
so speaking of Moon Knight, as I did him as the other last week's character of the week, let's roll this week's character of the week because it's my birthday and I chose this character. So the house rules, and this is me choosing today's character of the week. Character of the week. So, it's my birthday weekend, and today's character week is Arkady Rosovich, better known as Omega Red. Arkady was a soldier that was stationed at a small Siberian town. It was discovered that he was a mass murderer due to the fact that it was a small town, so you couldn't really get away with much. He was slated to be executed with a gunshot to the back of the head. He survived it, and the government looked at him like, he's got potential. I guess they assumed due to his your evil nature, murderous ways, and pure hatred in his heart that he survived. So basically, he's a hater. It was then that he was discovered that he was a mutant. This is still when mutants weren't as vastly known. This is during the Cold War era. His mutant power was death spores or death factor. He emanates these toxins that eventually will kill you. And if you don't die fast enough, he'll kill you, the old-fashioned way. Due to that, that was part of his healing factor. So that's why he couldn't die, is because he was so obsessed with death. And that's why he became obsessed with murdering people. Because comics. Sure, we'll go with that. So he was part of the Russian super soldier program. So what they ended up doing is they couldn't get adamantium, so they kind of did the carbonadium, which is their version of adamantium. Basically, it's adamantium if you get it off a wish. We need to do our own Weapon X program. You got Weapon X money? He was infused with these tendrils that were carbonadium. The unfortunate thing is because it was such a cheap metal, we don't gotta go to Canada to get adamantium. We got adamantium at home. It caused his body to deteriorate, radiation poisoning. So what ended up happening is that his tendrils were a way for him to absorb life energy from someone so that he could remain alive, which also is an extension of his death factor. The scientists developed this device called the synthesizer, a carbonadium synthesizer, actually. So basically anything with Wetworks International and espionage type deal in the past, they throw in Wolverine. He was Logan at the time. So it was Logan, part of a group called Team X, which consisted of Maverick and Victor Creed. They were sent to Russia to capture a double agent who was one of the key scientists of the carbonadium synthesizer. The mission was a success and a failure at the same time. They were able to capture the carbonadium synthesizer, but they had to kill the scientist. Well, I should say Victor Creed had to kill the scientist. They weren't able to kill Omega Red, so what the Soviet Union did is they put him in cryostasis, frozen. Years later, he was awakened by an organization called The Hand. They showed a picture of Wolverine. He just flew off the handle and went after Wolverine, thus Omega Red in the early X-Men issues. The key to a good villain is to be the antithesis or the opposite of the hero. Either a mirror or a direct opposite power-wise, to find a dynamic between the two. With Wolverine essentially being practically immortal or with his healing factor, which means he can't be hurt or killed easily, naturally they made his antithesis Omega Red, which was someone who dies or kills people off. See, it doesn't really make much sense, but that's what they were trying to reach for. He heals, he kills. The only downfall to Omega Red was he was a product of his time, and unfortunately that means he was also a product of what was going on at that time. 90s hyper-violent, hyper-action through and through. He had a cool look, he had the shoulder pads, he had the tendrils, which always makes for fun things to draw around and dynamics of it. He was to me, I liked him because he just stood out as a really, really cool character. The unfortunate thing about Omega Red, like I said, it's a product of his time, is during the time when he came out, it was at the height of X-Men mania. Unfortunately, that was also during a time where a lot of the comic book collapsed, so a lot of plans for him kind of fell through because he was put to the wayside as Marvel's more trying to figure out how they're going to save the company rather than flourish with new characters. Omega Red was kind of an afterthought. He's been featured in all the X-Men cartoons, several guest appearances in the X-Men animated series. He was part of X-Men Evolution too, a direct-to-home DVD video of Hulk versus. It was Hulk versus Wolverine. Omega Red was in that one too. He's been featured in all the X-Men fighting games too. He's, like I said, he's just a really cool character, but unfortunately, timing of him is what his down. He's supposed to be like Wolverine's Lex Luthor, but again, that's what happened. I was still a big fan of his stuff, and I got nothing but love for Omega Red. So shout out to you, Omega Red, just looking cool. Back to you guys.
Like, share, subscribe.
Hey, again, happy birthday to me. I chose that character because I liked him. So with that being said, no, one of the reasons why I did like him is because he looked cool. Like his costume was, he had the red from the whole Soviet thing and everything else, but he had the whole super 90s like high ponytail that would just for no reason, it was just like more hair than he needed. And of course the shoulder pads. Now funny thing is, Falcon and Winter Soldier series, there was a rumor that Omega Red was going to make an appearance on there. And it was a bunch of leaked photo manipulated pictures of certain actors who are going to supposedly look like Omega Red. The thing is that his costume, I don't think would translate well on the big screen. They would definitely have to do some modifications on that. So are y'all kind of familiar with a lot of the so for me personally, I feel like the modifications may not work for him as it's cool because he's very imposing in the comics, and I don't think they're going to do that justice in the live action movies. But speaking of costumes, we've seen our fair share of some stuff that does work on the big screen, and some stuff that we just be like, ain't no way that they're going to put that from the comic onto the big screen. But Mr. If it ain't source material, I don't like it. How do you feel about costumes if they don't look like the comic book?
That is one of the areas that I will have. I'll take it back. Certain characters I'm gonna be a stickler about. I'm gonna be pissed off about them. Be like, why the fuck do they look like that? Why are they not in the spandex? But their characters, I get it. It's a new age look. They put a spin on it, and it doesn't really affect the story too much unless it's Peter Parker with a fucking kill mode. Stuff like that. I'm not too big of a stickler on. But I lost my train of thought because I started googling.
It was on you.
Live action. Yeah, I know. It was all on me. Did they overlay Whiplash with this? I'm sorry, got distracted.
Yeah.
Is that what that was? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. I think that there's good transition between the comics and especially when we're talking about Marvel. DC is pretty simple. A lot of their characters are just, they're two colors and that's it. Like you look at Superman, literally blue and red. Batman, it's usually blue and gray or black, whatever have you. And they usually go in with single tones. Marvel, it's a newer company. You get more splashes, more colors, more diversity. So let's go around the horn and let's talk about our favorite editions of comic book characters from their live action portions from the comic portions to their live action portions. And I'll go first. My favorite transition has been Thanos, the Mad Titan. I think they did a really good job. Yeah, I think they really did a really good job. It's not hard to do it because he's basically blue and gold. But when they had Infinity War, they actually had him strip away his gold, and he just had a new, like a singlet almost. But it's also from I think what comic is that? Thanos Ends? Not Thanos Wins. I can't remember. But there's a comic where he basically has that outfit, and that was a good callback to the comic. So overall, especially he kicked the Hulk's ass and then took off the armor. And then he beat up the Avengers. Well, what'd you call that? The B team, basically. Beat them down with no armor on whatsoever. And then when you come back at Endgame and you get to see him fully armored with his double-bladed sword that can cut through vibranium, like it's amazing. Like I think Thanos is just chef's kiss. Great shit.
I call the Endgame version battle hardened Thanos. Because I mean, if you look at the beginning of Endgame, like when you first see him in Endgame after he gets his head cut off, he's coming back and he's covered in blood of some alien race or whatever that he just finished slaughtering. So like that's Warbound Thanos almost. And the one from Infinity War is more spiritual quest Thanos, who is on a spiritual journey and who's more motivated by accomplishing his goal than he is by destroying everything. So I mean, there's a difference in the motivations, and that's where you see the one wearing the armor and the one. That's the significance of him putting the armor down. Is he's on a spiritual journey as opposed to the one that you see in Endgame, who's just here to chew bubblegum and kick some ass, and he's all out of bubblegum.
Thanks.
Herb.
So yeah, mine was definitely not anything of how Trey set his up to war. But mine is the second in command of the X-Men, which is Storm. So let's go with the comics.
I don't understand.
Bonk, go to horny jail.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
It's Storm. We allow it.
And she is definitely gave a lot of class. Also, sex appeal. She is definitely a lead. I love the fact that you have a Black woman leading shit, and she looks good at it too. And then on top of that, as far as just going to the movie aspect, hell, I didn't think she did a great job in the movie, but I fucking love Halle Berry. I don't care. It's just the way that I'm thinking about this whole entire situation. Yeah, that's just how I feel.
So you think it's a good translation?
Just the fact that she has the sex appeal. She actually is a fucking just a hell of a leader. She commands shit. I mean, hell, even
no. My question was, did you think that from Storm from the comics and then the costume of Storm in the comics to the costume that you see on live action in front of your film, Bryan Singer, you thought that was a good translation of Storm?
I just looked at Halle Berry. I'm sorry. I didn't.
You didn't understand the assignment. Okay, next.
I just did it.
Yo, why
Leroy Jenkins?
So, why in that picture? Why in the picture in the top right corner is she doing the anime girl pose?
Yeah, I changed the picture, but I mean, it's just Leroy Jenkins is it. So I mean, hey.
Herb just found this as a moment to put some pictures together about Storm. That's it. Whoa.
All right.
I don't know.
Rita stepped out for a second.
Her phone might have died. All right.
So I'll continue this to go. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna go ahead and take over. So in conjunction to Herb, I'm also going to bring up someone from the X-Men class, Wolverine. I feel like Wolverine's costume was probably the better translation because in reality, there's just no way that the yellow and blue with the shoulder pads was going to work well on screen, along with that weird face mask that goes with his hair. Like, it was just, Wolverine's just an odd character. That's just purely comic book drawing. And it's like, yeah, but in reality, that's not going to look good. Like, could you picture Hugh Jackman in the yellow and the blue spandex?
Maybe the brown.
The brown would have been better.
Maybe the brown. I think I've always thought that maybe the brown spandex would have been better. It's a little. You can probably conceal that better than bright yellow. But
I'm just saying that the comic book accuracy of the yellow, is just yeah, that's weird.
I just always thought that Wolverine would never be a guy that wears like I think they did right in the Fox franchises. He's not the dude that's going to run around in spandex. He would do leather biker stuff. You know, he'd be patched more often than he would be the Wolverine, in my opinion.
So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw an honorable mention. EO, can you pull that one up too? Oh yeah. I want to give an honorable mention to Captain America. The Rob Liefeld big titty Captain America and Chris Evans big titty Captain America. I think that's just a great transition. I'm glad that did not happen, except for the fact that it was just pointed out to me in the pre-show meeting, thanks to Rick. Rick, who's the Rob Liefeld of the MCU now?
So if you go to Disney Plus and click on Marvel, they have a banner of the current Avengers lineup right now, with basically a lineup of all the movies that have come out since Endgame went off. Anthony Mackie is literally standing in the Liefeld pose. They've even increased the mass of his chest and they've almost perfectly created that. I hate that banner like poison. Every time I go on Disney Plus to watch a Marvel movie and I see this, I yell at my television. But I also wanted to chime in about the whole Wolverine conversation. I think what they did in the end of the Logan, the deleted scene from Logan, where they turned the brown and yellow costume into almost like a samurai suit, I think that would have worked. I think that would have been the perfect setup for him wearing the costume. But of course, Fox just foxed it up and they reneged on it completely. So
that's a new term. You foxed it up.
I mean, listen, hey, I've seen New Mutants twice. They foxed that shit up.
Why?
Yeah, one time was enough. Okay. You right. Go ahead. My bad.
No, you good. You good.
It's your turn. It's your turn, man.
Oh, it is. What we was talking about again?
Costumes.
Character costumes.
The translation.
No, I picked mine, obviously. No, my favorite is Blade. And partly it's because I'm rooting for everybody Black. I'm gonna be honest. But I also feel like his comic book costume was also accurate when it came to the movies. And I know it's not hard to do because like he was basically dressed in BDSM attire, which I'm okay with. But I just feel like when you talk about like like comic book accuracy and like, his costume, I definitely feel like his costume was like super accurate with the exception of that red lining that they added in the live the live action part. But I feel like that red lining was just so perfect. But
most of the color scheme in Blade was pretty much black and red, so that would line up right.
Like I said, it was giving me BDSM vibes. But like I said, that we're focusing, we're worried about the wrong things because that's not it.
Based on the way he was dressed at this past year's Oscars, I feel like that red lining was added by Wesley Snipes himself. Did anybody see that? Nobody saw that? Okay.
No.
That red lining did a little something to the outfit. That's all I'm gonna say. But
it made it pop.
Yeah. But no, I feel like he had a very comic book accurate outfit. I felt like the badassness to his outfit, in the original Marvel movies, because I feel like we don't give enough credit to Blade being like one of the first, you know what I'm saying? Or the first. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like Marvel movies, like he does not get that credit for starting the MCU when you think about it. Like without Blade, there is no MCU because he was the first. You know what I'm saying? Not comics. I'm talking about the movies. But I'm also curious to see how they revamp his outfit for the Martian. What's his name again?
Mahershala.
That nigga, whoever he is. Yeah, I'm curious to see how they revamp it for him. And I'm wondering if it's going to be as comic book accurate because they did that the first time with Wesley. So it's like, are they going to try to redo his outfit to kind of do some type of separation? Like I'm curious to see what they do with that.
I just hope that they don't.
It's kind of hard to mess up an all black outfit though. Like,
I just hope they don't try to go super comic accurate and go back to the original Blade where he had on a brown blouse and see-through goggles, and he had an afro. Suck. Like that would be horrid. They did it with Luke Cage.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
In the yellow shirt
as a joke.
I get it, but I'm hoping they don't even try that with Blade. I hope they keep the same level of seriousness. Like, don't fuck with me, Blade. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, I mean, when Mike Coulter's Luke Cage comes back, we won't have to worry about that anymore because all that's just a retcon. But so my pick for this whole category was a simple one, but also one that I had a little bit of trouble, dealing with when I saw it in the theaters. I chose Cable. So OCG, if you could put that up on the screen, please. On the right, we have the soldier from the future with the techno-organics virus running through his veins. He looked like he has a giant gun. He's got all the patches with all of the equipment in it. It looks like he's about to fuck some shit up. You know what I mean? He looks threatening. And then on the left, we have an old man who found some shit in a trash can and put it on his body. And he looks like, oh man, I really need to go take down this kid that has fire hands. But my back, God, my back. I get it. I love Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin is an amazing actor. But Cable in the comic books is 6'6", 6'7". Josh Brolin is all of 5 foot, whatever the fuck. So that's already a wrong number. Like they did the opposite of what they did with Wolverine. Like Hugh Jackman's a whole foot taller than what Wolverine is in the comics. Josh Brolin's a whole foot shorter than what Cable is in the comics. Like it's just too much, man. Like I get it. I love Josh Brolin, I do, but like I wouldn't have been afraid of him. And then of course, because Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool come to life off the page. There's so many jokes about his height in the movie, and I love every minute of it because he deserves that. You know what I mean? Like I remember looking at Josh Brolin's Instagram when he was training to play Cable, and he's at Gold's Gym in Venice Beach, and he's getting big and shit. I'm just like, damn. Last I checked, there are no lifts to make you taller, so I think you're still gonna miss them.
There's nothing wrong with being 5'11". Fuck you, Rick.
Sure it isn't. Hey, do you need me to come over there and get those spices off that tall shelf
I
for
will
you,
beat
buddy?
the shit out of you, nigga.
So
we will fight in this kitchen.
Are you 5'11"?
It just is what it is.
From? Oh wow!
I
never knew that. I never knew that.
All that misdirected anger. I'm so sorry that you didn't end up on the wrong side of 6.
Fuck you. Okay. Wrap this shit
the
up,
lack of 6, that is, you mean?
I was like, when he invested in Nike boots and Timberlands.
No, that
I know where you all live.
That episode of Seinfeld where Mickey had the lifts in his shoes hit Trey real hard.
I'm above average, motherfucker. So I don't care what y'all got to say. Wrap this shit up. Let's go.
Who's average?
The average male height in the United States is 5'9". I'm 5'11". Let me fuck
well, only niggas under 6 feet
I don't know them.
That.
I don't know them. I never met them. I don't know them.
Only niggas under 6 feet know that stat. I've never looked that up before in my life.
Never had.
You know why? Because you never had to.
Exactly. I'm too busy getting shit off the shelf for people.
Genocide Circus says Cable is 6'8" and 350. Nobody was matching that.
Nigga, please. You're not matching that. I know how tall you are, Genocide Circus. 5'6".
No, like climbing a tree has always been, something I aspire to. So come on now. All right, let me shut up. Go ahead. What are you doing?
Up
to it. Down to it. Hell,
share, subscribe on all social media platforms.
Shut up.
Go into our Discord for the what's the name?
Oh, you're adding value. Yeah. Look at you. Go ahead.
Anywho, up to it, down to it. What the don't do it? What you doing? Because we used to
drink motherfucking drink.
I'm so proud of you for being valuable for a change.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and that technicolor rainbow in between, it's your boy Trey Proper.
It's your boy Big Herb.
And thank you for watching Blerds and Whiskey.
Be sure to like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms.
And check us out on blerdsandwhiskey.com.
Be sure to get that merch.
And come take this shot.